Hey everyone, this is Eric with Arcade Hell, bringing you another 1cc with commentary, this time for DoDonPachi Daifukkatsu Black Label Novice. And I'm playing this on the Nintendo Switch through the DoDonPachi Resurrection port. This is a really big one for me because I've been working on my Black Label Novice clear for a long time. Checking out the replays that I have here, you can see that I had my very first run, play number 6, December 24th of 2022. And on my very first run with B Autobomb on, I'm sure that was B Bomb Autobomb on, I got to the stage 5 boss. And then since then, I've been playing this game. This is pretty much my primary mode for my primary game. I got to the Area EX boss April 1st with A bomb Autobomb off. And then I want to say that at some point I got an Autobomb on run to the TLB, I think it's Taisabachi. And I wasn't able to actually get the clear per se. I died to the TLB. So I'll have to go, I'll look through my, actually let me go ahead and look through those right now. All right, so I have my clears pulled up now, and you can see that I had my first clear of where I got to the TLB. I had a TLB attempt with A bomb, Autobomb on January 28th. And then I had a high score. Oh no, then I had a bomb, Autobomb off run. After my run on January 28th, I decided I want to play this game with Autobomb off. And so then you can see on February 5th, I had my first TLB attempt. And then I took a break from this game and I moved, blah, blah, blah. If you've seen my previous videos, like my April update, you'll know that I moved and I just kind of had to take a break from playing shmups. But got back into them, skills stronger than ever. Just to reiterate to any players out there that worry about skill deterioration over time, yeah, it happens, but it comes back. I notice the same thing in everything I do, really. And then let's see my replay file just to see if I have any more insight here. Looks like I continued to set high scores with Autobomb off until I eventually got the clear on June 10th. This play was so fun because I was actually streaming the game for Germinator, my buddy Germinator, streaming it on Discord. He was showing me Street Fighter. I was like, yo, let me show you Daifukkatsu Black Label because I have been digging this game. And I showed him a couple of like stage practices, whatever. Then I was like, fuck it, let's see how far I can get on like a 1cc attempt. And first 1cc attempt, bada bing, bada boom, got the fucking clear. And all right, let's show you my training strategy for this game as well. Hey everyone, so here we see my training method. And I like to do everything in analog notes. I got a standard notebook here. I make one every year. I have an index of all my note-taking shit. I like taking analog notes. If you do too, at me in the comments. We can talk about notes. Because it's, I don't know. When you take analog notes, you develop a weird passion for this shit. Anyway, so here's my shmup training journal for DoDonPachi Daifukkatsu Black Label Novice. I just record details as I think they're interesting. I started on December 20th of 2022, took a break during the holidays and my wife's recovery. I resumed on the 1st, kind of a fucking lie. I probably did resume, and then I took more breaks throughout this shit, you know, moving, all that stuff, like I said before. Here's my stage notes, all my misses and auto bombs for January 21st. Then on February 2nd, I switched to autobomb off. I have various like run assessments down here. You can see notes on credit fed runs, autobombs, stage misses, etc. Actually, this is with autobomb off, so that no autobombs there. That's misses. You can see I had a TLB attempt run on April 1st. May 14th, returned from another break. And then here's the big part of the shmup training journal is the stage training. So make a line for every stage. This is inspired by Special Worlds, Professor Sterney, Castronaut, whatever you want to call him. Dude's great. I love you, bro. You helped me a lot. And so here's his method. Make a line for every stage. Put down sets of 3 boxes for every stage you want to train. Break stages down as needed. If you have specific problem areas, you don't want to waste your time playing the full stage, or you have an area that needs especially more practice, like a boss. If your training mode allows it, or you got a save state for it, put it in there. But generally speaking, full stage practice is better than split up practice. If you don't have high problem areas. 1cc practice is probably better than stage practice if you don't really have that many stage issues. But if you can't get a 1cc within 3 attempts, you're lying to yourself. You're not ready for the 1cc. Go back and do some stage practice. If you can't do stage practice and feel confident about it, then you probably need to break it up into boss practice, etc. But when you do stage training, the only constraint you should really place it yourself at the base level of training is play the stage as consciously, as mindfully, as well as possible. You're just trying to stay in the zone. You're trying to really just shmup. After you fill in all your boxes, you go back and you do a full run attempt, you credit feed your way through, and you make notes where you still need work. Go back into the stage training section and put, sets of 3 boxes for every part that needs it. Do that training, do your full run attempt, rinse, repeat. Eventually, you get the 1cc. In my case, I did not document the entire process. I took a lot of breaks during this period. I got a lot of stuff going on. Life gets in the way. But this is the training method, and it really helps reduce frustration and in your training. It is not a light approach to training, but if you're really grinding out a 1cc, you probably know how frustrating it can get. This helps reduce the frustration. You're just following the process. You're just training. You're just doing your reps in the gym, basically. Just be mindful and just trust in the process. Anyway, you can see here, June 10th, 2023, I got the full run, circled it, AB off, A bomb, TLB, 1cc, Taisabachi. I got this clear with Germinator over Discord. Germinator, love you, bro. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you for supporting me. All right, now on to the 1cc commentary. Hey, so first things first, I gotta say, Thank you to Mark MSX for these sweet Electric Underground shirts. Of course, I had to rep mine for the DoDonPachi run. So, and getting into this run, first things first. It being Black Label, there's a number of mechanics differences. And to start, the difficulty is selected by what ship type, ship style you choose. So A, B, and C are the same, but bomb, power, and strong are all different, with bomb being the easiest, and power and style kind of being like loop 2 style bullet patterns. Then you can choose autobomb on or off, and with autobomb off, you can store your hypermeter into your bomb stock, and then when you use your bomb or your hyper, it takes away from the bomb stock. Then you can fire laser and shot at the same time, like you see me doing here. And when you do, one, it raises this gauge in the top right, this red gauge, which is a dynamic rank gauge in the game. And when it's in the red, all sorts of special things happen. Like, you get a score multiplier based on your hit counter, you get increased hyper build, and obviously the bullet patterns get a lot more dense the higher it is. And I think it's like 4 ranks. It's like 25%, and then, I don't know, 50, red, and then full. So the Bs also do some other stuff, like whenever they're green, you get hyper gauge. When they're gold, you get star clears into your hits, and then flashing is both. And so this being a TLB run, to trigger the TLB, I had to end at least 2 bosses with a full red gauge, which is also awesome for scoring because it turns their dropped stars into giant gold stars, and they give you a lot more points. That's actually where you get most of your points from whenever you play Black Label, is ending bosses with a high hit counter and getting the gold stars, the big stars, I mean. So that's pretty much the end of stage 1, and you can see I got the big stars, and I also ended it with like 12, I don't know, what is that? Oku or Mon? The big number. So that's pretty normal for me, is to end around 12. Some other things that are different about Black Label is bullet clears. I don't think I covered that, but you clear enemy bullets when your gauge is red, and you use shot and laser at the same time. There's some other eccentricities there, but that's the basics of it. So getting all those juicy bullet clears for the hit counter. And then stages 1 and 2, I like to not use a hyper. I think I get better score doing that and just racking up the hits. But I used a hyper right there so that I don't drop my hit counter. And then kind of just like letting them shoot at me and clearing their bullets for stars. Also the Black Label music is just sweet. I love this stage with those enemies kind of swooping left and right. And then this sort of like battlefield that you're fighting over is really cool as well. There's another hyper. It's a really good safety mechanism too. In Black Label, you use your hypers a lot as safety, defensive items, and offensive items, because it doesn't drop hits whenever you're in hyper nearly as easily. Bomb, on the other hand, drops all of your hits the moment that you bomb, so you don't get as many iframes though. And then also you'll notice whenever you bomb and hyper, it drops your red gauge too. So you can use that to manage your red gauge, but also it just means that like, with your red gauge being down, you don't have multiplier coming right out of hyper. or bomb. This pattern is tricky. It'll get me sometimes. I try to focus mostly on the reds and just cross streams and then watch for the random blues that are there. Pretty sweet. Another stage down, and I got that score extend at 50. So going pretty well. That score screen music is the best. I have that as my ringtone because it's just so damn good. And this third stage is my favorite. I love the color palette. I love fighting over like Tokyo in the night is what I presume this is. It is sweet. Just look at these nice dense bullet patterns for some prime dodging. They're pretty tricky. I will say, I don't think I give enough respect to enemy bullets. I like really graze them. Just a habit of mine is to like minimize that. The amount of movement that I make, and so grazing like every shot, but I think it's kind of dumb. If you watch super players play this game, I think they do that shit all the time because they're super players, of course. But it's risky for sure. And this section will get me a lot of times too. But getting those gold stars to gold bees to clear enemy bullets is very helpful. And then using a hyper here and just not letting those damn hovercraft destroy me with all their bullets as you kill them. One goal I had when I was playing this was I really did not want to manage my red gauge much at all. I just wanted to keep it up as much as possible, like just make it as intense as I could, because I thought that was really fun to get the bullets super dense and dodge them. And one weird thing about Daifukkatsu Black Label is that even though the bullet patterns are really dense, you do spend a lot of time just kind of avoiding them by using hypers. All the same, I think the bullet patterns are pretty damn challenging and very dense, especially compared to novice regular. There are times where this is more akin to 1.5 normal. Clutch little hyper there, and right in time for this washing machine, as I call them, for the hidden extend. You just can't use a bomb on them or else the extend goes away, including auto bombs, so be careful. It's good to usually have a hyper in your back pocket for that. And then I'm gonna try to build up my hyper meter and build some bomb stocks back before I grab that bomb pickup so that I can get the capacity increase by 1. And this is a great example of what I think makes Daifukkatsu special is all these purple lasers in these boss fights can only be countered with your own laser. And so by having a purple laser on screen, the game is more or less forcing you to use your laser and use your full focus movement, which is cool because then you have to be really careful about macro dodging some of these patterns and like... Yeah, there you can see that I just used a bomb. Oh, it was really close. I used a bomb, and then I used a hyper to pick up my hit counter. So if you don't hyper before the end of that bomb, you drop all of your hit counter. And I was able to, preserve like 1,500 or so. Here's those purple lasers restricting the movement like I was talking about. Very cool. Third stage down, my favorite stage down. Really cool boss fights, music, everything. Game is sick. Got my notebook over here with some Japanese notes. I was trying to look up what that big number is again. Oku. This stage, just the opening of it with this music is just war to me. Like, this is the war zone. They're coming at you with full force. Those big guys give you a lot of score, so you really want to kill them with your multiplier engaged. And I think I missed it with that first one, and I'll probably miss it with the second one. I don't know if I get multiplier for having the red gauge at 75 and turned red, or if I need it to be 100, but the first one I definitely didn't get it. These enemies are super cool too, especially in the arcade version. They drop bullets down as well as like kind of shooting them at you. They drop them, and the patterns that it makes are so clutch to dodge through. Ooh, that was close. That mid-boss is kind of a pushover though. Just beautiful how many bullets are on screen. It's awesome. This game rocks. Kind of gets tricky to track some of the patterns that are overlapping, but if you struggle with that, just keep playing. I promise it gets easier the more you play. Your eyes just get kind of tuned. I think that one of the fundamental skills of shmups is not just eye placement, but also the ability to distinguish the multiple patterns that are happening at once and knowing how to dodge, recognizing them and then dodging them appropriately. Luckily, Cave, being one of the best in the biz, does a great job of using different bullet shapes to communicate different information about the patterns and allow for your eyes to track them a little bit better. And then those big guys, I kind of delay them until this warning screen pops up so that I can not drop my hit counter. I think you also milk a bit more hits out of them whenever you just keep them on screen like that and kill them slowly one at a time. This boss is ridiculous. She kind of fucks me up, honestly. Even this pattern can. See, I had to hyper out of it. And then you should really be shooting the basketballs there because it prevents them from dropping as many bullets as soon as they're deployed. Use a cheeky little hyper there to get some iframes and pass through that basketball. And then this phase, you want to just come off to the side to bait that rocket ship. It tracks your horizontal location every once in a while. And then I used a hyper there to counter its giant purple laser. It can only be countered with in hyper for this ship. What is it, power style? If you're in like the hyper mode or power mode, then that'll also counter the big purple bullets, or lasers, but I'm not using that ship style. Basketballs of doom! Oh no! And then this pattern's just sweet to dodge, but of course I hypered through it. Bitch move, but what's really sweet is that I start stage 5 now with the hyper, and the hyper gauge or the hyper rank gets reset at the end of it, so it's like I kind of get half of a free hyper in stage 5. Nothing to complain about there, because those suicide hovercrafts, they can get dense at full red gauge. Yeah, they're scary. Everything is scary at the beginning of the stage 5. It starts off high. giant tanks. Use a hyper though, and then get right up on these laser cannons, and you see you can milk them for hits. Like my hits are already over 1,000 in novice mode. Yeah, that's really good. Probably some score masters out there can do a lot better, but your boy is pretty happy in the thousands this early into a stage. Also scary here is that, especially with A-type, guys shooting from the side in hyper, you are not safe. And then here, it looks like I triggered the alternate route. I guess it's the order route. Because I'm fighting an alternate mid-boss, and some of the enemy spawns are just different. But luckily, I think this mid-boss is a lot easier than the regular mid-boss. He still made me drop my hits with that stupid bomb usage and then the late hyper. That was sad. But and now I am out of hypers in this very tricky section of the stage. Let's see how I do. Pretty decent bullet hurting there. Nice little cut there. Missed that other B for the green B for the hyper. And then these spinning tops are snipers. I hate them. And this section is just notorious for killing people. So just got my hyper there, my hyper gauge filled up, and I used it through this section. Bombs are typically safer through here, but I'm a slut for keeping my oh fuck yeah, I just got another hyper there too, so really milking this life. What, I haven't dropped a life yet? We're in stage 5. Pretty good run. If only I could get runs like this consistently in Black Label Novice. It is still a tough cookie. This part is tricky too, scrolling over to the left. But tell me what you think. If you play Daifukkatsu, do you like this part of stage 5 or not? It's very controversial. It's got a lot of bullshit going on. Scrolling left, right, up, and down. So many enemies from every direction. Objects that can swipe you from off screen. They just pop in and blammo. It is tough, but I love how dynamic stage 5 is. And I also really loved just learning to route this part of the stage and continuing to work on it. I'll put a video in my description that goes over it, but you can definitely route it. Like this part right here should be all the way to the right. That guy wouldn't have swiped me if I was all the way to the right. What a shame to lose 2 lives in there, in the laser wheels, the Tiger Lilies. Those crisscrossing patterns like that, honestly, it's tricky for me. So, a bomb it is. With the other second mid-boss, the regular one, not the alternate one, he has a really great sort of like purple laser orb that he throws out that you can juice for hits, and really unfortunate that I didn't get him, but I'll be honest, at this point, I was not trying to milk score anymore. This run was going really well, and I flipped the switch. I went to survival mode. And nonetheless, I get sniped by these stupid Tops of Doom. They're the cause of so many of my deaths across stage 5. But you'll see that because I'm not going to focus on scoring so much, that I will throw out hypers a little bit more. I will throw out bombs a little bit more. The worst thing you can do in this game is die with bombs and hypers in stock, because you get them back when you die. Each one's practically like an extra life. So if you're going for a clear, make sure you just make it one of your goals, especially in training, to never die with bombs or hypers and stuff. And then here, activating the hyper, just hoping to juice a little bit, kill them all. Unfortunately though, I don't deactivate my hyper and I drop my hit counter, so. Gosh. It's a tough game. The step up from Novice Original to Novice Black Label, in my opinion, is a big jump, especially if you're going auto bomb off and going for a TLB. I had the auto bomb on, no TLB clear very easily. This was a huge jump. And now we're on to stage 5 boss. Again, a really tough boss. I have to bomb and hyper through so many of these phases. And they're just spamming some bombs because I had that bomb pickup coming in. This pattern, super tricky. What I like to do is sit between the capsules that are dropping, and they create these blue bullet funnel shapes of sorts, and then you go up through the funnels. If you look online for people to like beating this boss, most of the videos that I found, they skipped that boss pattern with the dropping capsules, the first one. If you have a good reference, boss 5 clear to share where they don't do any phase skips, please share. Or just any of them that you like to use, please share. Because I'd like to learn how to fight this boss a little bit better. And I think this is one of the times where a save states would really help, to be able to just learn an individual pattern. But I don't do any save state training. Shame to die there. Those big explosions, by the way, also have a hitbox, but they're a little bit smaller than the fireball itself. But you gotta make sure you don't ignore the fireballs, just looking for bullets, neon-shaped bullets. So that was stage 5 boss, and we are on to the TLB. Taisabachi, if I'm not mistaken. Big angry golden bee. And that mofo shoots our ship down. Actually, the general shoots it down, who I think is the pilot for the big golden bee. I don't really know my DoDonPachi lore that well, but it's pretty sweet. This TLB is sick. These patterns are sweet. I like to sit underneath that gun on the right, and then when his bullets shoot at me, they're kind of coming straight down, and then you have the other bullets coming from a diagonal, and you can focus on those diagonals. And then when he releases those bombs, I did a phase skip there. If you drop a bomb on him right as he deploys his bomb pods, then you can charge hyper. I botched it, and so I only got like half a hyper gauge, but I think you can get like 2.5 or something like that, depending on your timing. This phase, I just hold out as long as I can and then bomb it. And I've never seen anyone not bomb through this one either. Maybe there's just some patterns that really require a bomb. This is another one. Sometimes I can dodge through it, but it is tricky. And then this one is an absolute just bomb, at least twice, 3 times. I mean, it has so much going on. And then this pattern is sweet. Just, I stick up on him and get my laser aura on him just to get as much damage as possible. And then find the nice opening. for when this shit goes down. And then just thread the needle. Or bomb it, because you gotta watch out for the pods that are swirling the exterior of the screen. If they touch you, you're dead too. So, very, very tricky. No bombs, time to dodge. Pretty close there, but a frickin' sweet dodge through the wall, and then swipe by the other wall before taking down the TLB. Let's go! Yes! A very hype clear for me. I've been working on this one for how long did I say in the pre-commentary? 6 months or something. I don't get to play a whole lot, but so it took me forever. But if you're in the same boat as me, just don't let it deter you. Keep playing these games, and you can get the skills. They accumulate over time, and you can get some pretty sweet clears of your own. And just enjoy the journey, because these games are beautiful. So, on that note, I'm going to shut up and let's listen to this music bit. Well, y'all, as this is wrapping up, mission complete. Just want to ask you guys, first, thank you for watching my clear. I hope that it was enjoyable. It's a really big one for me, and next is Arcade Original. Pretty decent score, if I may say, for myself. Not my best score, though, surprisingly, even though I got, a good bit further than my best scoring run. And yeah, let me know what you think of DoDonPachi Daifukkatsu, of Black Label in particular. Do you have any clears in it? Have you gotten the arcade Black Label clear, or have an aspiration to do so? I do. It'll probably take me another year or so to get it, because it is a dang hard one, but I'll be playing this game for as long as I'm playing shmups at this rate. It is my favorite, bar none. It has so much content in this DoDonPachi Resurrection port for the Switch. And I think, same deal for Steam or wherever you get it. And it's a fantastic game, so I hope you check it out and enjoy. Hit me up if you have any questions about the game, and again, thanks for checking out my clear. Y'all have a good one. Peace.